Hey guys, first Regardsman here, and so I'll be talking about a Techmarine auto bolt rifle build for the public test server of patch 12.0. Now, the Techmarine has 5 weapon options currently. We have the auto bolt rifle, standard bolt rifle, heavy bolt rifle, Oculus bolt carbine, and the plasma incinerator. Now, the auto bolt rifle was a weapon that Saber Interactive previously said they wanted to mix into like a variant of the bolt rifle if they could, but it would break game saves. So for now, it has the most limited perk tree in the entire game. But that being said, it's still a pretty decent weapon, great at horde control, and really good at wiping out minority swarms. And as far as the actual perks we do have for this thing, they really aren't that bad. Now, I am taking the ammo reserve magazine capacity option, mainly because the Techmarine has absolutely no ammo economy perks at all in his tree. There is nothing here to regen your ammo, not the prestige perks, not the standard perks, or anything like that. So having ammo is pretty important, even though you do have a servo gun that kind of mitigates that a little bit. Now, as far as the perk tree is concerned, it's a pretty limited perk tree like I mentioned before, but we do start off with the perk here, Home Precision. Equip weapons maximum spread decreases by 50% when firing without aiming. This lets me shoot my auto bolt rifle as like a 99% hip fire weapon. You basically never aim down the sights, which is really useful because the next perk here is just a barrel stuff perk, which is called Close Combat. Enemies at a distance of no more than 15 meters take 15% more range damage, and then you can move here into the perk Fast Reload, down here into the perk Perpetual Penetration for an additional penetration of targets, mainly because this weapon only has a base piercing of 2, which is fairly low if you compare it to things like the bolt rifle having a 3, heavy bolt rifle has 4, so this Perpetual Penetration perk is actually a little bit beneficial here compared to other bolter options. Next perk here is Headhunter for 10% more headshot damage, and I move here into the perk Elite Hunter. After killing a majority level or higher enemy with a melee weapon, headshots will deal 25% more damage for 10 seconds. This perk is by far the best perk in this entire tree. All you have to do to trigger this perk is have your weapon equipped and get any kind of finisher on enemy or kill Majoris at all with a melee weapon. This does count for finishers like I just said, and having this buff attached to your weapon is just really useful. But keep in mind, if you swap off your auto bolt rifle for any reason, you will lose this perk effect, so just be aware of that. Next perk here is Rapid Health. When your health is below 30%, killing 7 enemies and rapid succession restores your health by 10%. This perk is really good on Techmarine because Techmarine does not want to be at like a ridiculously low HP if you can help it, and mainly because this class, on top of having no ammo economy, also has 0 HP increase perks of any kind. There is no Fortitude, there is nothing like the starting perk on Bulwark, and you have very limited damage reduction in terms of like actual HP damage reduction, and the only way to obtain HP damage reduction outside of weapon perks on this class is with the team perk here, Reinforced Position. So being pretty squishy, you do want those extra perks to make sure you're at least like outside of one-shot territory, which this one definitely does for you. Now, another perk here that will help you quite a bit is Recoupment. Killing a majority level or higher enemy with a headshot this weapon restores an armor segment. The cooldown is 15 seconds. Now, Drip-Fed Armor Restore in Space Marine 2 is just incredible. This one overperforms for you all the time. You know, 1 armor on a 15-second cooldown may not seem that substantial in this game, but it actually comes into play a lot more than you'd think, especially when you're trying to counter-snipe ranged enemies with weapons like the Oculus bolt carbine. But even here on the auto bolt rifle, it is a top-tier option. Pretty much always pick this up if you want to have like the safest build possible, so I definitely picked this one up on this build. Now, for the secondary here, I do take the Inferno Pistol. Now, in patch 12, the Inferno Pistol did get buffed. The gunstrike damage got up by like 11%. It still sucks for gunstrike damage, but that being said, we can circumvent the terrible gunstrike damage of this gun by using our Techmarine Servo gun, because if you're unaware, the Techmarine, his gunstrikes all operate off of the Servo gun. And because of that, you have a set base damage on your gun strikes no matter what, independent of your secondary weapon, which means that the Inferno Pistol's dog shit gun strike damage does not matter because we have a base damage already preset on this option, with the highest base damage on your servo gun strikes being off of the Precision Enhancement perk, because it does change depending on which core perk tree option you take here. Plasma and the base one being identical, and this one being slightly higher than that. Now, as far as the Inferno Pistol option I took here, I just take the rate of fire version with the perk tree all the way set up like this for armor restore and stuff like that. I don't think you'll have to struggle with ammo all that much in this game on the Techmarine, so you can really take the luxury perk, or excuse me, the luxury variant on this one instead of the other one that you would take on an assault class, because you don't really care too much about your ammo economy. Now, for our melee weapon, I did take the brand new balanced Omni Scion axe. This has a 19 strength, 7 speed, and 13 cleaving potential, and we are building for pure discharge. Now, we're going to explain the bottom perk tree here. So first up, we have perpetual speed for a melee attack speed increase into the perk here. Cleaving Strike, a light combo attacks with this weapon deal damage to nearby foes around the target. Now, keep in mind, if you are playing the Techmarine right now, this perk will blow up barrels around you and damage your HP. That sucks. But you know what doesn't suck is the fact that this one will synergize with the perk down here, Executioner. Electric discharge damage is increased by 25% against foes hit by your light combo within the last 5 seconds. So since you're hitting them all with your light combo off of this perk, you'll get that bonus damage on them quite easily. So nice synergy there, which is why you want to build these perks down here together. Next perk here is Perpetual Speed, moving here into the perk Kill Streak. This is a no knockback perk, and no knockback is really hard to find on the Techmarine in general. Surprisingly, the light attacks on this class are actually pretty decent. You actually trigger this one a lot more often, like, say, a chainsword, but it's still not that good. We need to pick it up to go into the next perk here with a Supercharged Follow-Up. After Electric Discharge, the next light attack becomes a powerful sprint attack. This is okay. I actually kind of prefer not having this, but you simply have to pick this one up the way the perk tree is currently set up if you want to go all the way down into the perk here, Mighty Blast. Next perk here is Perpetual Strength, moving down here into the perk Executioner for the reasons I already mentioned. Then I pick up the perk here, Energize. While charging and releasing Electric Discharge, you do not lose control from heavy hits and you cannot be knocked back. This perk is really good to have because, like I said before, no knockback on the Techmarine class is very hard to find, and being able to get those discharges off is really, really useful. It's kind of the whole point of this weapon we set up down the bottom tree anyways. Next perk here is Rapid Charge. Electric Discharge charges 40% faster. Again, charge speed on this is really nice to have because this is where a lot of your damage is coming from in hordes. And the final perk here is Mighty Blast for that extra damage increase of 50%, which is quite substantial. Now, you could skip over these two if you really wanted to and go up here for Armored Strength and Expose if you want to do that for whatever reason, or skip over this to like get more damage on other things, the 5% increase. But to be honest, I think the way that this perk tree is currently set up, if you're going for discharge builds, you just go all the way down the bottom tree because it just makes the most sense with the way the perk tree is currently set up. And that's pretty much all there is for the Omni Scion axe. Now, as far as the perk tree is concerned, we do take the perk Explosive Enfilade first. After using equipment, your range damage increases by 15% for 10 seconds. The Techmarine actually has quite a few synergies with equipment in general, mainly because of perks here like Methodical Destruction. Enemies damaged by equipment take 25% more damage for 10 seconds. This one is a really nice perk to have because your frag grenades on top of the blast radius perk that gives them an increased radius do hit a lot of enemies, and a 25% debuff to the enemies on their damage taken is quite substantial. And the perk up here will also trigger simultaneously here for that 15% range damage buff on top of this debuff to them, like the actual enemies for your entire team, I'm pretty sure, because most of the debuffs in Space Marine 2, if you're unaware, they do trigger for your entire team, not just for you, as long as they are applied to the enemy. Now, an alternative option here is Arc Cleave. Damage from charged melee attacks increases by 25%. This will buff up your discharge damage, but I'm not taking this today because I do just like the little bit of like equipment synergy here. Next perk here is Explosives Adept. Damage from equipment increases by 20%. Like I said before, I'm going for explosive damage on this build, so kind of a no-brainer for me to pick this up. And next perk here is Combat Squad Resupply. All team members gain 1 additional equipment except for Melt-A-Bombs. This one I think is the best team perk currently. I don't think it's incredible, and I'll tell you why, because not having an extra Melt-A-Bomb does kind of like limit the awesome factor of this perk, and you come across a Melt-A-Bomb sometimes, you're like, wow, my team perk is doing literally nothing for me in that situation. Now, the reason it shines dramatically is because the other ones are either mediocre or straight up bad. This one is called Battlefield Repairs. All team members fully regenerate their armor and gain 1 additional armor segment when using Medicae stims. This perk is buns. Like, this is a terrible perk. The amount of times it actually comes into play are just so rare. Just because stims are not, like, ridiculously uncommon. They're just not common enough to base an entire team perk around, in my opinion, even on Siege mode where you can literally buy them, because like you're just wasting a resource at that point. So I just picked this one up instead because this one helps out your pickup economy. This one gives you like a slight buff to it compared to this one. And Reinforced Position is really good in theory, but the big reason I don't take this is that your Tarantula sentry guns are already so goddamn OP that having any buff around them doesn't really matter at all, because they'll just kill everything for you anyways, at least in the PTS. Maybe this one will be better in the official live game, but for now, I wouldn't take this. Next perk here is Designated Target. Enemies hit by the servo gun take 15% more damage for 10 seconds. It's just a nice little debuff applier to the enemies, like I mentioned before, kind of similar to the Methodical Destruction perk. So I do like picking this one up, especially compared to things like Inexorable Salvo, which only gives you no knockback while the gun is active, which is not terrible, it's just not great. It's definitely terrible on Precision Enhancement because your gun lasts for like 2 seconds, but on this one we're picking up for our base servo gun, it's okay. Like if you wanted to grab this, you definitely could, and the one down here that gives you a better recharge rate around a Tarantula Sentry gun, like I said before, if you're around a Tarantula Sentry gun right now, you're just killing everything, so it doesn't matter anyways. Next perk here is Replenishing Salvo. Killing or incapacitating an enemy with the servo gun restores one equipment. The cooldown is 90 seconds. This is a really good form of equipment regen in Space Marine 2 because killing an enemy with your servo gun, especially with the signature perk we'll get into, which is Omniscience Fury, is just super easy to do. You just shoot a Minotaurus in the face by hitting your Q button once, and you'll get that thing off cooldown immediately. So really nice for your equipment builds, which we are building today. Next perk here is Fortifying Salvo. Killing or incapacitating an enemy with the servo gun restores an armor segment. The cooldown is 30 seconds. That is a pretty powerful option because, like I said before, killing or incapacitating enemies with your servo gun is super easy to pull off in this game because your servo guns will one-shot most Minotaurus, and this one just goes off cooldown all the time. And the final perk here is Omniscience Fury. These servo gun shoots, these servo gun shots set enemies on fire. Just take this signature perk. And you know why you take the signature perk? Because this servo gun's damage in base right now is pretty hot garbage. It definitely needs some base damage buffs. It is just not good on its own. But when you apply a burn effect to it, this thing becomes pretty damn powerful. The amount of value you get off your servo gun with this perk is incredible. The other two signature perks don't come close, like Lethal Perimeter and the perk up here, Decapitating Stratagem. These just don't feel good to use right now. Like, they need a buff, or like the servo gun itself needs a buff to make them more worthwhile, but for now, the burn effects are just the best, so we're taking that. And also just most fun to use. Now, for the prestige perks, we do take Chain Headshots because this is just a headshot damage perk for our auto bolt rifle, and then I pick up the perk Stim Boost for Medicae Stims, restoring 40% more HP, and the final two perks I grab are Blast Radius and Defensive Stance. Now you may be wondering, why don't I grab Furious Gunstrike? Well, that's because currently this perk is bugged on the PTS, or it's intended to only work on your normal gun strikes, but this will not function off of servo gun strikes. It will only function off your normal gun strikes while your servo gun is active. So a little bit misleading here, but I'm sure it'll be fixed in the main game, but for now, so we don't take it. Now, one final quirk I want to talk about with this build is that despite the fact that you don't use your Inferno Pistol for your gun strikes on this build, you will still be stuck to the Inferno Pistol range occasionally, which is a pretty big downside. Hopefully they fix that because for whatever reason, it's taking the Inferno Pistol's gun strike range into account for your servo gun as long as you have it equipped, which is a pretty massive downside, but that's the only reason I don't like the Inferno Pistol on here. Besides that, it's a pretty fun thing to use because you get that extra damage. That's pretty much all there is for this build, so hopefully this one looks fun to you. I'll show some gameplay of this, and this run was actually pretty fun on Extermination, and as always, guys, thank you for watching. If you like content like this, subscribe for more. Take it easy. Bye. Hey, there we go. Aw, this class, I want to keep my frags. You get a lot of buffs for using your grenades here. What's your favorite Doc Ock build so far? Probably the one I just used with the precise calibration, the precision enhancement, not precise calibration. I'm so Techmarine that ow. It's unfortunate. Okay. I found the distance on that stream has been a little bit bigger this patch. Maybe I'm just tripping though. That's probably just coped. Oh, I just turned it on me. Oh, maybe it wasn't aimed for me. Aimed for my teammates, and they were saying that way. But so far, my favorite build on Techmarine, definitely the Oculus Bore Carbine. Definitely that one. We do this. Should buff up our range damage. Oh my god, I didn't even hear him. Also, this is the new buff. You can get your CHP. The CHP doesn't start to drain until... Oh, please don't combo me here. So your CHP doesn't drain anymore after you get grabbed, which is very nice. That's probably the best quality of life change in this whole patch. I assume they're gonna do that until they actually rework the entire dodge mechanic or the entire grab mechanic. Because now they're fairly trivial to get back. How's the Techmarine's melee weapon? Pretty fun. I think it's like, it's a good weapon. I've heard conflicting reports on this one about like how people feel about it. I don't think it's the best melee weapon in the game, but it's definitely not bad. I think it's bad. That should kill him. I have to take the melted bomb this time. Look at the frags. Technically, the melted bomb's better, but the frags are more fun. Have you tried the block on the Cyan X? Yeah, it's pretty good. Zambit hates it, but it is a little unwieldy, but the discharge does do a lot. You just have to make sure you get the charges and get like a proper placement on it. It is kind of like a Thunder Hammer, but worse with extra steps. That's not the worst thing ever. What's my favorite thing on the Techmarine? These things. I mean, I love the servo gun. The sound effects. Pretty good. I also like the equipment focus. I think it has a pretty cool synergy with its equipment perks. How do you think Techmarine will do in Siege? I think he'll be okay. It depends on how good his burn stacks are. He doesn't have the turrets in Siege. That's a pretty big downside. He is very squishy. I'll say right now that, like, without the burn perk here, he'll be dog shit. Like, he's not really bringing anything that, I mean, he brings an extra nade launcher, but he also doesn't have the Auspex attack has. Because you have to ask, like, who are you going to replace him for? Like, the Assault? Is he really going to be putting out more damage than the Assault does? Maybe. I doubt it, though, with a Thunderhammer and Auspex. Auspex, like, as far as Siege mode classes go, Tactical is just indispensable. You can't get rid of attack in your comp. Auspex is just too important. As you're doing, like, a Siege push. Do you have to perform the gun strike yourself and you're using the ability shoulder gun firing? You have to press the button. It's not just like an auto input. The thing about Siege mode is that, like, the best classes are just very obvious at this point, where it's like, okay, Assault just has the AoE, he has enough buffs. Auspex is just objectively one of the best it's probably the best class ability in the entire game. And Secure Stockpile is just the best team perk in the entire game. So that kind of like pigeonholes you into two options in every single team comp, if you're trying to push the highest wave you possibly can. And then the only question after that is, like, do we take Bulwark? I mean, do you want a Bulwark on your team, or do you want a Techmarine? And the answer is probably going to be Bulwark. That's, like, the only question. Though I would be positively shocked if the Techmarine outperforms a Bulwark in any way, outside of, like, maybe some AoE damage. But in terms of, like, utility, I don't see it, personally. Have you tried the Precision Servo enhancement? Yes. So the Precision Servo is interesting in that it is definitely the worst one currently. But it does mince Zoanthropes. It is totally carried by the burn. But to be fair, I think the Servo gun in general right now is carried by burn. It definitely needs some damage tweaks. A lot of enemies. Anything with the pistons. Tarantula makes me want to say Techmarine over Bulwark. Well, Tarantula Sentry Guns aren't in Siege mode, and there's a 0% chance that they are going to be as powerful as they are right now in the official patch. So, and like, because they're supposed to be damage, like, right now, I have never seen a Tarantula Sentry Gun ever die. I have yet to see a Tarantula Sentry Gun ever explode. They have only ever run out of ammo because they killed everything. Wow, super cool. Just dropping them right on my head while they're detonating. Dude, like, this is like genuinely dozens of spore mines. Someone just tossing dozens out of me. Greens FTG, how are your chats? What's up, brother? How long are you playing? We'll see. I usually have a stream schedule, but like, who needs a stream schedule when you're just online all the time? Am I right, guys? Made you get good? Real. I mean, I guess we could use the sentry gun here. But
We cannot enter the fortress until the entire system is activated.
if you try pressing the dodge button, no, I haven't found that. We unbound that yesterday. Gone. Tragic.
Transmission of blessing has commenced.
STG is officially a servitor, true. Low-end servitor, even.
Console operational. Connection to core controls established.
Hey. Omniscient Axe is cool as fuck, though. I almost forgot I had Inferno Pistol. If that would set up gun strikes, that'd be incredible, but it's a gigantic detonation, so it makes sense that it would just kill the Minoris instead. Hey, you ain't wrong. It seems like the gun fires way more shots than mine. Well, which version are you using? There's 3 different variants of this thing. What build are you using? We are just using an auto-bolt rifle. With an Inferno pistol. Because you can actually, even though they buffed the gun strike damage of the Inferno pistol, I haven't tested what it is now, but it doesn't matter for this build anyways. Alright, that's the one downside of that. So you can blow up barrels with this, so be a little careful. When Techmarine comes out, I'm making mine an Iron Warrior. Well, that's because you're a filthy heretic. Keep in mind, right now, the Techmarine doesn't have access to the Mark II helmet. Pew, 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 pew. I'm referring to the auto gun. I mean, you can just count the shots, dude. Just how the gun shoots.
System restoration complete. Primary controls reset.
We activated the consoles. We must open the door. Servo counters fully operational.
God, this is a vicious class, I must say.
We activated the console. We must open the door.
So is the auto servo better than the plasma servo? No, the plasma is just the best for like the burn perk. It's not even close. It's probably the best combo in the entire game for this thing. That's the first one I used. The very probably the most obviously OP combo this class has currently. But besides that, the auto bolt rifle still, like the normal bolter is still pretty good. It will still apply a lot of burn stacks. It will still min skies. The plasma just applies burn to everything. Because the main downside of the plasma servo gun is that you don't have a ton of single target damage. Well, guess what? When you burn everything alive, it doesn't really matter if you don't have single target damage. No, no, no. Genuine FTG fear is a rarity. Yeah, I'm not a very emotive person sometimes. I have all the emotion of a an Addams family member. Is the Inferno pistol good? Yeah, it's pretty good. What does the new knife do? It just gives you a worse version. It's pretty much like the surgical strike modifier on your weapon. Not very good. Not like horrific. Oh, it's pretty bad. I'm not gonna say it's good by any means. Oh, hello. Boss spawn? Get shit on, you dumbass. You've entered turret territory. This is turret town. That'll learn you. You should have come to turret land. Fair and balanced weapon. When you see a turret on the PTS right now, you're like, ah yes, the boss is just guaranteed dead. It has no hope of survival. It just turns the entire horde into a horde of lamenters. Yeah, that'll get tuned. Yeah, there's no way it's gonna launch like that. It would be pretty funny if it did. What's that Carnifex do to you? He appeared on the same staircase. Just like that Ravener. Horde of Lamenters is crazy. Did I stutter? Bang. You are an Inferno victim. Block Power Fist reacts is the most meta, that's definitely true. Even now. I thought the hordes were spawning here, though. It's fun. Never played the auto bolt rifle. Seems weak. It's okay. It's like I would say it's a lower tier weapon. It's not horrific though. It's not like an embarrassingly bad weapon. I don't think those really exist in Space Marine 2 anymore. They used to. There were weapons that were like straight up tragic back in the day.
And we will meet them.
It's no longer the case.
Refreshing armaments.
Nah, I want to save the sim. I mean, we have bots, so it doesn't really matter too much. But
Inserting fresh magazines. Shock grenade active. Automatic weaponry engaged.
Fist is the easiest weapon to use, dude. It's got a little distance and boom. I would say the fist is easy. It's very easy to use once you know the breakpoints and you know the enemy attack patterns, because you do have to know like what charge is going to kill what enemy and when you can go in and when you can't. Because like, you can play very aggressive with it. You just have to know those breakpoints. And if you don't, you can definitely be cooked. That's the rapid health trigger on our audible rifle. I wonder how well this is going to perform, because
Defensive cannons active. Targeting system not functional. Initializing secondary system. Established.
if you can try the Techmarine on Siege, I definitely will at some point here, but I guess we'll take the...
Harness gun available. Utility of unidentified technology determined. Servo guns in Paris. Termination passing power lines out. Take defensive positions.
I get rid of this and I can go kill the other guys.
Defensive positions. Ready to deploy.
Alright, there we go. They're going back.
Cycling cartridges.
Oh my god.
All specs indicates bio-war visible.
My god, there's so many spore mines. Ah, yes, my favorite. My
Utilize the blast cannons.
I mean, the other one's low, but this one's more isolated, so I'm gonna go for him. Let's do this. Oh, it's so fun.
The Titan fires at us.
Something bumped me out of that too. I think it was my bot. I'm gonna bump the attack. It was robbery.
Servo gun is full. Activate the generators and restore the cannon.
How do you like the new med sims? Oh, they're really good. Finally, that's one. It would have been nice if I didn't get all my HP bombed by just random fuck off spore mines, but
We must use the generators and recharge the cannons.
this is where plasma pistols are better. I'll try to get my HP back off of that. The rapid health, that was a foolish mistake. Just going for the execute. Are we having fun yet? Rocket through the prime sub.
Tyranids dispersed.
Well, that was annoying. Double slam going into whirl makes me mad. You mean the Omni-Cyanax? Omni-Cyanax is pretty good. Not a bad weapon. The director trolls in the PTS. It is like endless Biovore spam. Are servers messed up for anyone else? My servers aren't messed up. Right, let's just casually walk this way, shall we?
Reestablish service call and system communication.
So, a little quirk I've noticed with this build is that if you have the Inferno pistol, your gun strike range is still limited, even though your servo gun doesn't have an equivalent gun strike range. Even though, or excuse me, that was a very poor way to explain that. Your gun strike range is still limited, even though your servo gun itself is what's used for your gun strike, because it's still counting your Inferno pistol as the base range of your weapon. That is whack. It certainly is. That's disappointing. Yeah, I'm sure that'll be fixed. That's what I'm noticing here, because the Biovores are running out of my range. I was like, why can't I hit them right now? I was like, oh, I have an Inferno pistol, technically. Just returning to the game since launch. Really appreciate your YouTube videos. I'm glad I could help, Weapon. And thank you very much for watching. Helps more you know. Alright, I gotta be careful, because if I blow up that, my discharge will blow up the barrel. So, that'd be very not epic. Weapon, thank you for the Prime sub. Ow. You. For solo play and team play, what is the best between the two Bulwark and Tactical classes? I just started the game yesterday. Tactical is an S-tier class for any team comp, because Tactical is just such an enabler for everybody else. Solo, Bulwark is... It's funny you mentioned these two classes, because Solo, Bulwark is just like blatantly better than Tactical is. But, like, not in terms of just ease of use and all that, but Tactical is probably the hardest class to solo with in the entire game. But Bulwark's fracked.
System link has been established. What's next?
A wrap. That was a little coffee sip I had, a little freebie. Can you change the cloth color on the Dark Angel Champion chest piece? Have you checked it? Thanks. No, you can't. At least that's what I've been told over and over and over. So you cannot. Schlurp, indeed. Do the tactical perks that increase scan damage stack with the scan while blocking perk? They used to. They used to. They don't anymore. A lot of 900 kills on a Termination map. That's a lot of enemies. Quite unusual.